This is a video to show you guys how to put your sketch into Illustrator and build it. Now you might be, the example I'm showing here, you might be working with a different project, and that's fine. So you're going to start with a blank document. So I'm just going to go File, New. And the size that I'm going to be working with is 8 inches by 8 inches. You put in whatever size it is you need to be working with. My color mode, if you want to click on advanced options here, the color mode I'm working in is CMYK, and you're just going to click create. All right, so we've got our screen here, or we've got our page here. Now, what you're going to need to do with your sketch that you did by hand, your detailed sketches, you're going to need to take a picture of it with your phone or scan it in or something so that you've got it digitally so that you can place it. So I'm just going to go File, Place, and I'm going to be using this example right here. Okay, and you've got a your loaded cursor here, right? You could just click to add it, but what I'm going to do so that I can control what size it is, I am going to click and drag and just get it so that it's sitting nicely on the page there. All right, so in your layers panel, what you can do is you can make this a little bit lighter so that it's easier to see your lines on top. And the way that you would do that, right here, we only have one layer. This is what I've placed. If you double click on this layer, it's going to open up these layer options. And right down here where it says dim images to, if you click that, I'm just going to leave it at 50% and click OK. And you see how it made it a little bit lighter? And you can adjust that 50% to whatever you want. This is just going to make it so that when I build my lines on top of it, it's going to be easier to see. Okay, so then I'm going to lock this layer so I don't accidentally move it around when I'm building on top of it. So over here in your layers panel, you're going to click right here next to the eyeball and you're going to put a little padlock there. Now I'm going to create a new layer on top of it, and this is what I'm going to start building on. Now, I like to build from the back forward. That way I don't have to do so much rearranging when I start filling in my colors. And what I generally draw with is a fill of none over here. So if you look over here at the bottom of your tools panel, I've got a fill of none. And I generally change the color of the stroke to something that's going to show up better. So red is a good thing. So so that way when I draw my lines, I can see them. And I'm going to go back and probably either remove the strokes completely or change them to black or whatever. So the furthest back are all of these circles that have the words on them. So that's what I'm going to start with. And I'm going to start right here in the center. And I am going to hold down Option, which means I'm going to, oh, and by the way, I'm drawing with my ellipse tool here. I'm going to start here in the middle. I'm going to hold down Option, which means it's going to draw it out from the center. And I'm going to hold down Shift because I want to constrain the proportions to make sure that it's a circle. So I'm holding down Shift and Option, and I'm just going to pull, and I'm going to make this outside circle here. Hey, that's pretty good. I got it on the first try. That's pretty good. Make sure that you release your mouse before you release your modifier keys. So what I want to do is I've got to repeat these, but I want to make sure that I get all of the circles lined up exactly how they should be. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to move into my black arrow tool. So I have my first circle selected there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. Okay, copy. And from here on out, I'm going to use the shortcut keys. So copy, which is Command C. Okay, so it's copied. Now I don't want to just place it. I want to make sure that I'm placing it in the same exact place. So edit, paste in place right there, which is going to be Shift Command V. That's what I'm going to do after this. So paste in place. And if I look over here on my layers panel and I click on this, I can see that I've got two right here, and this one on top is selected. So I'm still in my black arrow key, black arrow tool. And I'm going to grab this corner, and again, I want to be resizing from the center, and I want to constrain the proportions. So I'm going to hold down Option, and I'm going to hold down Shift. And I'm going to pull in until it's about lined up there, and I'm going to let go. All right, now I'm going to repeat the same thing. I am going to copy, Command C, and I'm going to Shift Command V to paste in place. You see right there? That's my next one. It's already selected. I'm going to hold down Option and Shift, and I'm going to make that circle. One more time, Command C, Shift Command V. Got my fourth one here. And that's my last circle. So you see how nicely they're all placed and everything? Okay. So what I'm going to do is you need to stay organized with your layer. So I am going to call this circles. All right. And all I did was I just double clicked on the word. Don't double click out here, but double click on the word and it'll highlight it and you can put whatever you want. So I'm going to, for now, I'm going to lock that. And I'm going to create a new layer. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do these words. And since they are curved, what they are is it's a text on a path. And the first thing you've got to do is you've got to create the path. So I don't want to use this line here because once I attach the text, the line is going to disappear. So actually what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to come in here and unlock this layer. Let me select this line right here. Okay. Let me copy it. All right. Now, after I've got it copied, I'm going to lock that. I'm going to come back up here on this one and I am going to paste in place. All right. So now I've got this and I'm going to grab the corner here, hold down Option and Shift, and all I'm going to do is pull it out just a little bit so it's sitting on the letters, right at the bottom of the letters where I'm going to put it. See that? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and rename this. This is going to be words. Okay, this is the layer I'm working on. So when you're creating text on a path, you've got to create your path first. So this circle is our path that our letters are going to run along. So I've got that selected. I am going to come over here to the type tool and I'm going to go down to type on a path tool right there. And I'm going to come out to my line and I've got my smart guides on. I should show you that. View smart guides. You need to be having your smart guides on when you're building these things. So when I'm over the line, it's going to say path and I'm just going to click. And it goes ahead and loads in some filler text called lorem ipsum. It's just filler text so you can kind of see what's happening here. So it's already highlighted. I'm going to type in my words. I'm going to put my cap locks on. And we've got National Aeronautics and Space Administration. All right, this USA is I'm going to do separately, and I'll show you why. Okay, so I've got that typed in there. I'm still in my same type tool. I'm going to triple click it so that I get it all selected. And I'm going to get it with the right font and the right size or close to it. So I'm going to click on Properties and I'm come down here. And I know that the font, I've looked ahead, so I know which one I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one right here. And then here in the Properties panel where it shows the size, you can just keep clicking this up button until it gets to the size that you want. Okay, so I'm going to make it about, that's pretty good. That's 37. 38, that's good. 38 is good size. All right. I'm going to get into my black arrow tool. Now, it's not lined up correctly. It needs to be rotated. And if you look closely here, there's these bars that you can pull and it'll twist your type. It'll rotate it around the circle. But I find that to be a harder way to do it, especially if you're just working with a circle. It's much easier to do this. So I'm in my black arrow tool. I've got it selected. I'm just going to put my cursor outside of this. You see how I get the little two-angled, two arrowed curve? And I'm just going to pull. All right, and it's going to stay in the circle. and it's a little bit smaller than what my sketch has, but that's okay. That's still pretty good. Okay, so that's how I rotated it. All right, I just clicked on it with my black arrow tool. Okay, and it might be a little bit hard to see because this layer is green, but I put my cursor around here on the corner of it, and I just rotated it until it got to where I wanted it. Okay, all right. So what we have to do here is, if you see this USA, you see how it's sitting a different way. These the bottoms of the letters are facing the inside of this circle. But with this USA, the bottom of the letters are facing outside. So we've got to do something special with that. But it's the same size lettering and everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here to my layers panel, is I am going to take this circle that already has words on it, and I'm going to copy it. So copy, it's already selected, is Command C. Okay, and then I am going to lock. I'm going to lock that one that I just copied, and I'm going to turn the eyeball off on it. All right, and now I am going to paste in place, and that is Shift Command V. Okay, so you can see this is my original one, but it's hiding. This is the new one that I have just put on there. I'm going to get back into my type tool, and I'm going to click 3 times until it's all selected. And I'm going to go U.S.A. Okay, so even if I rotate this, okay, you can see that it's upside down. So this is the way that you have to switch this. And it's kind of hard to remember where to find this, but let me see if I can remember. Window. Nope, that's not it. Type on a path. Type on a path options, right there. Okay, see, I couldn't remember where it is because I don't do it often enough. So type on a path, type options, and that opens this up. Kind of move it off to the side. Click preview so that you can see what it's going to do. And the first thing you want to start with is this little flip right here. All right, so now it's oriented correctly, but it's hanging from the baseline, which is the bottom of the letters, are sitting too high on here. There's a couple of things you can try. You can change these, but that's still not getting it where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave it on baseline, and I'm just going to click OK. And I'm going to be in my black arrow tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this circle bigger. So again, I'm going to hold down Option to draw out from the center, and I'm going to hold down Shift to constrain the proportions, and I'm just going to see if I can pull this so that it's in the right place. I'm going to have to change the size of the type. Okay, so now it's kind of placed in the right place. But what I want to show you is, if you go to your properties panel, when I resized that, when I grabbed these corners and I pulled it out, in addition to making the circle bigger, it made my type bigger. So you see how my type is now 44? Okay, it's supposed to be 37. That's what our other one was. Okay, so that is the right size. Placement's good. Let's go to our layers panel. And this is my sketch layer down here, so I can just turn that off, and that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we've got all that done. I'm going to lock that layer so that I don't accidentally do something with it. The next thing back is probably this, which I'm going to call a planet. So I'm going to create a new layer. I'm in the layers panel. I'm going to click on this plus sign, and I'm going to call that planet. And I'm going to get my ellipse tool, and I need to reset this, okay, because we were working with text and it changed it. So before I do that, I want to make sure that I don't have anything selected just out here. So I'm going to go back to a fill of none, and the stroke is going to be red. Okay, so it looks like this for building. So I'm back in my ellipse tool. I'll start right here in the middle, hold down Option for drawing out from the center, and Shift because I'm making a circle. Okay, now I'm just going to use my arrow keys on my keyboard to nudge it a little bit. And I can change the size if I need to, as long as I'm holding down the shift key, because I need to make sure that I keep this as a circle. Okay, now I know that's hard to see on this, but what I need to do is this is going to be a differently filled shape, and this is going to be a differently filled shape, different colors. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this. I'm going to copy it. I am going to paste in place. You can see we're doing the same thing over and over again here. We're going to Shift Command V. Okay, so now you can see over here that I've got 2 of them. All right. So I'm going to take this, and it's filled with nothing. So when I'm going to move it, I'm going to have to get right on the edge of it to be able to move it. So I'm going to move this up here. Okay. So you can see how that's going to create this shape in here. All right. I'm going to do that again. I am going to Shift Command V. All right. And now I've got this one. And let's see. Let me pull that there. Okay. One more time. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, now I've got the shapes, all right, and they're nice clean shapes. You can see how that was a lot easier to do than to try and get the pen tool and to get all of these angles right. So what I've got is I've got this shape here, I've got this shape here, and then I've got my general planet shape, and my planet is right here. Is that right? Yes. This is my original shape that I made. Now, I'm going to need to duplicate this, and after we make all of these individual shapes, I'll show you why we have to duplicate this. Just trust me on this, all right? So I've got this selected. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste in place. I'm going to pull it down. Okay, so we've got 2 right here. So this very bottom one, I'm going to turn off the visibility and I'm going to lock it. So I've got an extra planet shape here that I'm going to work with. Now what we need to do is we need to actually turn these things into shapes that we can fill. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the shape builder tool, which I use a lot. So what you've got to do is you've got to select all of the pieces that make that up. So I'm in my black arrow tool. I've got all of these other things locked so I don't grab them. I'm just going to click and drag. So I've got all of those circles selected. I'm going to get into my shape builder tool, which is right here. And when I hover over here, you can see that I'm going to be able to make all of these individual shapes if I want to. Now, if I just click now, it would create a shape, but it wouldn't show the shape. So what I always do is when I'm using the shape builder tool, I always fill it with a color, even if it's not the color I'm going to end up with. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to pick a brown. Okay. And I'm going to click here and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's going on here. Okay. And I can see that this is actually part of it too. But you see, if I click here, it's going to create its own shape. What I want is I want this to go all the way into here. So when I hover over it, it's still going gray. I'm going to click and hold and pull over that so that now I've got that. I'm going to come over here to this side and I'm going to click and pull so that I've got that. Okay, and you can kind of see here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my thumbnails bigger just so that you can see it. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to the hamburger menu in my layers panel options, and I'm going to make those large. Okay, it'll be a little bit better for you guys to see what I'm doing there. Okay, so I have created that. That's groovy. What I want to do is I'm going to lock that. Let's see if this works. Okay, now I want to create, let's go back out a little bit. I want to create this one. Okay, so that might go over there. Let's see. I might have to turn the visibility off on that. Well, it's going to give a gap. All right, these are going to have to be 2 separate pieces. All right, let me pick a different color here. Okay, so I've got that, and this is part of it too. No, that's not part of it. That's not part of it because this is, well, nope. I'm not sure. Where is my original? let's see where my original planet shape is. I'm getting a little bit lost on here. Okay, so that's my original planet shape right there. So I don't think we have to include that right there. We'll figure that out. Okay, so now I've got some pieces that I want to get rid of. And you know what I think I probably need to do? I probably need to fill my final planet. If you look over here, I wish I could zoom into this, but if you look in your layers panel, this is the extra planet that we made. You can see that it's kind of a circle. This was the planet that we had before, but when I started using my shape builder tool, it kind of, see how it kind of cut this piece out of it? All right, so that's why I created another planet here. Let's see if I can turn that on, unlock it, select it, and let me see if I can just fill that in with a color. Okay, so there's my planet. Okay, so I've got this piece here, I've got this piece here, and I've got that planet there that's working fine. Now what I've got to do is I've got to get rid of all of these other pieces that are out here. So I'm going to select all. I'm going to get back into my shape builder tool, and I'm going to hold down Option. You see how I get the minus? And I'm going to click the areas that I don't want. Right, so that is what we are left with. If I turn off the sketch here, okay, so that's what we've got there. Let me come up. I've already called it planet, and I'm gonna lock it. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn the visibility off on it so that I can build the next things. Next thing I'm going to build is, let's build this kind of ring that comes around here. All right, new layer. Let's call it ring. I'm going to use the ellipse tool because it's going to be a lot easier for me to just make 2 circles to create this shape down here. So let me get this where it has a fill of none and a red stroke. Okay, I'm not holding down Shift this time because I'm not making an exact circle. I'm making more of an oval. And I need to rotate it a little bit. You guys, my cat is wandering around right here, breathing on me. He's a sneezy cat, so, you know, please excuse him if you hear him start to sneeze. Okay. Okay, so that's the outer part of that circle. I'm going to copy and paste in place this. So I'm going to go Command C, make sure I've got it selected. I do. Command C, Shift Command V, and you can see I've now got 2 of them. So this next one, I'm just going to move up here to make it smaller. All right, that's pretty good. That's following along there. And it's following along there pretty well. All right, so let's make this ring an actual shape that we can fill. So I'm going to select both of those ovals. I'm going to get the shape builder tool. I'm going to pick a color, and this is going to fill in the entire ring. And that's fine. And I'm just kind of figuring this out as we go here. Okay, I know that it needs to go behind the planet here. Let's see. Okay, so here it goes behind the planet, but here it goes in front of the planet. So that's a little bit tricky for us to try to do. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to kind of chop it off right here. So let me zoom in here. All right, so there's my line on the planet. And I think what I'm going to use, I need to select it, is I'm going to use the slice tool. Let's see, it's behind the eraser tool. No, the knife tool. Knife tool, that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so I've got this selected. I can see over here it's selected. 1, 2, 3, that's fine. And I'm just gonna start way out here, and I'm gonna do that. Let's see if this works. All right, now if I get my white, let's see. That looks like that selected it, possibly. Okay, let's cut it off over here too. Well, let's make sure we've got it all selected. Okay, now let's see if we can grab this middle piece. Okay, so it looks like I've got this middle piece selected here. I'm gonna hit, I hope this works, delete. Oh, there it goes. Gotta get all these pieces. Ah, pretty good. Okay, so that was the knife tool, and I had to use my white arrow to select this inner piece here, and I just had to kind of keep grabbing pieces and hitting delete on my keyboard to get rid of them. Now, what we've got to do, you can see that it ends here. It doesn't go all the way around there. So actually, I didn't have to be so careful about that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make another oval to create this little tag that's at the end here. Let's get in here. Let's see. That's about right. Okay. So let's see. Now we need to select this. Let's see if that's, yep, that's that. And we need to select this, Shift. Okay. So I want to get rid of this piece here. So I've got my shape builder tool. Oh, I must not have it selected. There we go. All right, I've got my shape builder tool, and it's just selecting this piece, which is what I want to get rid of. To get rid of things, to minus, you hold down Option. You see how I have a little minus sign there? And I'm going to click, and that gets rid of it. And now what I want to do is I want to make all of this one piece. So I'm in my shape builder tool, and I'm just going to click and drag over all of that. And then I'm going to click and drag there. Okay, let me refill it again. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we've got so far. That's looking pretty good. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We haven't saved. I really should not have gotten this far along without saving. I can look up here and I can see that it says Untitled. So I got to make sure that I save. So Shift Command. Okay, guys, this is interesting. When I go Shift Command S, it wants to stop my recording. I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, so now I can name it. Let me just put it on the desktop. Sample Planet something something, save. Okay, so now we've got it saved. Let's see. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do, let me turn the visibility. I'm going to lock these. When I've got a layer finished, I just lock it. I want to create this little swoopy thing that's coming across there. New layer. I'm actually going to call it Swoop. You can name them whatever you want as long as they make sense to you. And this is the way that I'm going to do this, because this isn't, everything else that we've been making up until now have been variations on circles that we could use. This is not that. So this is how I'm going to go about doing this. All right, make sure that you got it filled and stroke of red. I am going to get the pen tool. And all I'm going to do is create straight lines to start with, and then I'm going to reshape them. So I'm clicking here and click. For some reason that's not showing it. Okay. Click here and here. And I don't know why that's not stroking that with red. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay, so did you see what I did? I clicked at all of the points. So I clicked here, here. Let me turn this off so you can see. I clicked here, 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 here at the middle, and here. And that's what it looks like. I know it looks weird. So have it selected, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my reshape tool. And it's behind the scale tool, reshape tool right there. And hopefully this works. Sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't. Let's zoom in here. And you do need to be zooming in and out. Don't be working on all of your stuff from way far away. And I just looked at this. I need a space in between national and aeronautics there. I'll come back and do that. All right, I'm going to grab some of these lines. And of course that didn't work. Let's see if I can get it to work. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. There we go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right. So let's see. Let's pull this here. It's a beautiful thing when it does work. This one's got to come down here. This one doesn't matter because it doesn't really show, but I've got to get that there. And maybe that a little bit. Okay. Keeps moving that one. Hey, that's pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, now let's fill that, see how it's looking. Let's make that one green. So this is what we've got so far. I want to look at just my sketch, and this is a little trick. Let's see if this works. For turning on just one layer, which when I'm working with the sketch on the bottom, this is really handy. You know that you've got the eyeball right there, but if you hold down Option, when you click on the eyeball, it'll turn on only that layer. You see, it only turned on that one, and it turned off all of the other ones. Now, if I hold down Option again, then it turns all of them back on again. So I can easily look and see. So what's happening is this is going behind here and this is going in front. So we need to do some kind of a thing where we cut these things off so that they work. So let's see. Option, so we can turn everything on again. All right. What I'm going to do is, let's see the best way to do this. I'm going to unlock that. I'm going to use the planet. So I'm going to select that. And I am going to also select this. So I'm going to hold down Shift. So the two things that I've got selected now are my swoop and just the main area of my planet, because I want to try and get rid of this part that's in the middle. So with those things selected, let's get the Shape Builder tool. And you can see when I hover over this, it's stopping right there, which is what I want it to do. And it is stopping right there, which is exactly what I want to do. Now what it's going to do though is it is going to, let me show you what it's going to do so that you can see how I'm going to fix this. I know what it's going to do. I am going to delete this. I'm going to hold down Option. And I'm going to click on it. But you see what it did? It also chopped it out of my planet. So Command Z. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I'm going to come down here with just this selected, just my planet, and let's create another copy of our planet so that we can come back to it. Because you can see what it did to it here. It chopped it up here too, and it's going to do it again. So I have my planet selected. Get my black arrow tool. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to, let's make sure I'm down on this layer here. I'm going to Shift Command V and let's pull it down here. Okay, so now I've got an extra copy of it. So I can turn that one off and lock it. Let's select that. I hope you guys are following me on this. Okay, so once again, I have my swoop and I have my planet selected. I'm going to get into my Shape Builder tool. I'm going to come here, hold down Option, and minus that out. Okay, which is what I want. But now what I can do is I can turn off. See, this is what it did to that planet. It chopped it up. All right. So I'm going to turn off both of those, and I'm going to turn this planet back on, and lo and behold, that's gorgeous stuff we got happening there. All right. Now we got a little moon we're going to do. So let's lock up everything again. Let's make this moon. This one will be easy. Option, Shift, and we got a little moon there. Let's make that blue. Okay, groovy. Let me show you, actually, let me come in here and make a space that I noticed. So, national right there. Oh, you must click on a compound. All right, let's see. Oh, it's locked. That's my problem. Words right there. And actually, I can select it here. All right, now let's see. Oh, it's still locked. All right, there we go. There we go. National Aeronautics Space. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna lock my words so I don't do anything with them. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and fill in some colors here. All right, and I'm gonna open up a new library to get some more interesting colors to choose from. I know that you're going to be with whatever your project is. You're going to be working with probably a specific color scheme, something that is appropriate for whatever subject matter you're working with. I'm going to go down here. Let's go earth tones. That sounds good, because it doesn't have sky tones. Where's my circles here? Okay, are they all unlocked? They're all unlocked. All right. First thing I'm going to lock this background because it keeps jumping up there. So this is the outer circle. I'm going to, let's use these here. Fill it in with that. And then I'm going to choose this one. Let's make that a light color. We'll go back to, was it that one? Yeah. There. Okay, and because I had them stacked like this, I was able to fill them in like that. If you had them stacked wrong, you can just come in here and you can just, pull them and rearrange them. So now that I've got everything, I can come in here and I can start filling them in with the colors that I want. Okay, so I just click on that and I come over here and I pick, whatever colors I want those to be. All of these, I can come in just real simply and change all the colors. Now they've all got that red stroke on them. So there's a couple of different ways we can do this. I'm going to leave the type layer, the words, I'm going to leave those locked. And it's good to have those on their own layer so you can lock them, because when you're working with all of the strokes and everything, you don't want to be affecting your letters at all. So I'm going to keep that locked. I'm going to keep my sketch locked. I'm going to leave everything else unlocked. And I'm just going to go Command A to select everything. And you can see that everything over here on the bottom of the tools panel, they're filled in with different colors, but they've all got a red stroke. Okay, so let's try it first with no stroke to see how that looks like. So I'm just going to click none, and I'm going to click off of it to see how that works. Now that didn't work somewhere. Oh, we must have something. Aha, see, there's something locked there. Let's make sure everything's unlocked. Okay, that's good. It didn't get that, so let's do that again. Command A, and it's not going to let us fill it with none. Let me just select that planet. Maybe that piece. There it is. It's not letting me get, there must be something down in here that's got, let's go through here and see where it is. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking each of these until I see something that has a red stroke on it. Hopefully I can find it. And I can't find it. It looks like it's that. Okay, so it's this piece right here because I must have had it locked or something. All right, so we're going to make that none. Click off it. All right, so that's what it looks like with no strokes on anything. Okay, groovy. Let's try this. I'm going to select everything and let's make it a stroke of black on everything. Okay, so you can see how that's going to look. And that's it. You're just going to continue going through locking layers as you go, so you don't accidentally move things around. You want to make sure that you keep your sketch as your very bottom layer. Whatever project is you're working with, you're going to have a sketch at the bottom. Don't delete that, because I want to be able to see. I want to be able to do like this when I'm looking at your projects, and I want to be able to see, you know, what's going on with your sketch and how you've built it. Now, I understand that your sketch is sketchy and you're going to come in and you're going to make some changes, and that's fine if you make some adjustments. You know, I still need to put like some little stars. These might be planets back in here. I'm not even sure what they are. But it's okay if you're going to veer a little bit from it, but I don't want you to make huge changes from whatever your sketch is, because your sketch is something that we looked at and we made changes to and we improved and we selected, and that's the one that I think that you're going with. So that's the way that I want you to build it.